The very basics of backhand, super simple as always. We don't need to make anything more complicated than it is. So what do we want to do when we throw backhand full power? Well, first we need to gain momentum, bringing our body forward to one direction, all right? Then we need to create tension between the hip area here and the shoulder area here. So this is what we call the coil, like this. These are the two wind-up principles we need. As we have wound up, taking the momentum forward, what do we need to do next? Well, we need to stop, and we need to do it quite abruptly too. This means we need to brace. As we brace, the wind up here begins to unwind, and it starts from the legs. This is what we call the ground up. We push down with the brace leg here, which then pushes our hip back. If we are in a coiled position here, this creates the tension even more between the shoulders and the hips. As you see, this starts to uncoil back, and now we have even more tension. As we are going forward with the momentum, this starts to bring our disc here forward. At this point, it's okay to think about using the arm, but most likely, because you are now bracing hard, your arm doesn't do much. It's about the upper body uncoiling, and it brings the disc here. Now you can avoid throwing out too early. You can really hold on to the disc and even gently guide it to the deep pocket. This is the front peck. Like if your disc leaves out early, it might not be a big problem, but you might gain a little bit more spin and velocity by keeping it a little bit closer to your front peck. And then what you do, well, basically you just either sling out or you let the disc sling out. But basically it's not so much about using the muscles in your arm, even if of course you will be using the muscles in your arm, but if you feel like you have to tense the shoulders and tense the biceps and tense the triceps, you're doing something wrong, because it's all about getting here and letting the uncoil bring the arm here, and then a little bit more, and then sling out. So there's a little bit of arm, only a little bit of arm motion involved, but you might feel that you also use the arm. Now, many players say that they don't actually even use the arm, which I believe, and which I also tend to teach. It's more about having a relaxed attitude so that you are not forcing anything, but you are letting the arm do its job. So you have to be relaxed, and what I always say, you gently guide your arm and the disc here, and then you gently also guide it out. But you have to be explosive, and that's the tricky part. You have to be both relaxed and explosive. To recap, we need to coil, get the momentum forward, stop the momentum, which then starts to uncoil our upper body, and the arm comes along, and then a little bit more, and then out. This is how we throw. This is how I teach the backhand, and I think it's the simplest and most efficient way to think about the backhand. So quite a little of muscle involvement and more about mass going forward, stopping and ripping. So as always, I think I need to show what I do in practice. There is very little space. I'm in Taipei. I couldn't find a space for my golf disc, so I have an ultimate disc. But it's basically the same because I don't change anything except maybe a little bit of the angle, and I keep the disc like this because power grip is impossible for me being this deep disc. So that's it, maybe about 80 meters or 320 something for you Americans. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep it simple. There's no need to make this complicated. It's simple. Go, stop, and sling. Good luck.